Hi superstars, happy May the 4th. Today I'm just hanging out chilling with Yoda, and I wanted to just give you a quick little video and share my Star Wars story with you and ask you, do you want the impossible? So today I'm going to share with you my Star Wars story. If you've listened to any of my other videos before in the past, you know that one of my favorite pastimes is to do movie marathons. And one of my favorite pastimes is to do movie marathons. And so after recovering from running my first ever half marathon in Green Bay, I decided to do a Star Wars marathon because the kids were out of school and I thought, hey, I could be the coolest mom ever and hang out with the kids and let's do Star Wars. So as I went on this journey, I lost the kids at Empire Strikes Back. So as we're watching the show, I'm all by myself at this point. So as I'm watching the show, it's the part where Luke is doing his training and he's in a swamp and he's hanging out with Yoda. And he's doing the super cool one-hand handstand. And as he's doing this one-handed handstand, he gets distracted because he sees that the ship is starting to sink in the swamp. And so he falls. And then Yoda, tells him, to use the Force to get his ship out. And so
the Force, yes,
the Force. And so as Luke goes to do this, he gets frustrated and quits. He says, "I'll try." And then of course Yoda immediately snaps him, and says, "No, there is no try. Do or do not." And so after that, he tries, he gets discouraged, and he just gets frustrated and says, "You want the impossible." And he goes off, And then, of course, Yoda, being the man that he is, he uses the Force, and he pulls the ship up out of the swamp. And Luke Skywalker comes out there. He's just like, "I don't believe it." And Yoda says, "Yeah, and that's why you don't do it." And so in that moment, it was like I had an aha moment. I had just finished doing what I first thought was the impossible. Ever running, there was a time when I first started my weight loss journey that I struggled with running a mile, let alone 13.1. That just seems like so far out there, completely impossible. But with God, all things are possible, right? He is the actual Force, right? The good Force. Yes. So the Holy Spirit spoke to me in that moment and said, once you thought that this was impossible to run a half marathon, and now I've completed it. And so I'm sitting there in that moment just like, wow, what was once impossible, I've done. And it just totally lit a fire in me. And of course, that was the moment that Yoda and I became best buds. And I got my obsession with wanting everything Yoda. And so I just want to share that with you today, because this is the perfect day, for all of us Star Wars fans. I just want to encourage you and say, do you want the impossible? Because I know for me in that moment, when that happened, I knew, yes, I do want the impossible. I want to do things in my life that I first thought was impossible, but I train and I work towards them. Train, yeah. And I get it done. And it happens. And that's what separates you.
A Jedi must be always ready to train.
Yes, a Jedi has to be always ready to train, like Yoda said, right? This is why Yoda's the man, right? So anyways, superstars, I just want to encourage you, if you're Star Wars fans, you definitely got to watch a Star Wars movie today, right? But if not, check it out, especially The Empire Strikes Back. That's my favorite Star Wars movie, and that was my Yoda moment, and that is the story that I wanted to share with you today, is to question yourself, what is impossible right now at this point in my life, figure out how to do that if you want to do it, and then work hard, train for it, and then that thing that was once impossible will become possible.
Abandon your training.
I will never abandon my training. No, I won't. And remember, one of my favorite Yoda sayings from that clip is, do or do not, there is no try. So many times we think, oh, I'm going to try to do this, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to try to watch what I eat. I'm going to try to work out more. I'm going to try to make it to the gym.
The dark side.
Yeah, the dark side then takes over, right? And gets you frustrated and distracted. And you got to refocus. And remember,
you must. And test you. I will.
Yes, we will be tested by the dark side, won't we? So, superstars.
Stubborn and hard as your head. Soften it with will.
So don't have a hard head. And I just pray, Lord, my prayer always for you is that you will be patient in the waiting and make healthy choices. Happy May the 4th.